How about now? OBS, man. As if I gotta go pick the microphone. I ain't changed microphone since I own the thing. Now I can repeat myself in everything I said. Happy Thursday. I'm so stressed out. I wish we could just skip Friday and go to Saturday and start drinking or something, some kind of stress relief. Sleep half the day. Still fighting with Best Buy over a broken refrigerator. I got half my food in a ice chest because even though you got the extended warranty, they keep sending repair people out here who don't know what the hell they're doing. Or it's like today, the repair person canceled. Stress at work. Had to rush home, cut grass. And tomorrow I got to put fertilizer out because it's supposed to rain Saturday. We're supposed to have a tropical system come through Saturday. But now they're saying we probably won't get hardly any rain from it. Where before they were talking about all kinds of potential rain and stuff. And now we ain't getting hardly anything, which is disappointing because I've had rain here about once in the last 3 weeks and at my hunting lease once in the past 4 weeks. And I'm sick of running my sprinkler every other day. So, yep. What else? What else is going on? How about now? Let me see. Trying to make sure my audio levels are all right. Yep. So, can y'all hear me now? Everybody's good? All right. So, welcome to the Thursday live stream. Like I was saying, I rushed home. I had to hurry up and cut grass. Didn't get a chance to eat as usual. So anything that I say that might be goofy or incorrect, we'll just blame it on hunger. How about that? So yeah, and if you saw my Discord today, I was trying to figure out how can I install this where 80 to 100 mile an hour winds won't take it off, but on a square railing. I really don't want to use zip ties because between the salt water by the Gulf of Mexico, this will be where my Wingbit stations are. Yeah, the problem is that between the UV from the sun and the heat and the salt water and all that stuff, I don't trust any zip ties, even the expensive ones, when 100 mile an hour winds come through. So I really would like to try to. Somebody's got to sell somewhere some type of U bracket or some kind of bracket that will go around square tubing that has a photo, like a camera. You know, all this is the same. This is the same kind of bolt, whatever you want to call it, threading that a camera has, camera mount. Somebody has to have a camera mount for square tubing, even like GoPros and stuff, so that you can put it on a deer stand or something like that. So that's what I've been trying to figure out. I was trying to show y'all what I'm talking about. Let's see. Got hot. It's nobody sees the address, but this is the railing I'm talking about, and this is an optical illusion. This rail, because somebody made a comment earlier about the wall blocking it. This rail is maybe from this highest peak right here From this highest peak, this rail might be about literally an inch lower. That's about it. This rail is taller than these sides right here. So you're not going to have that much wind block, but the Gulf is on this side. So this will be coming off the Gulf, but there's got to be some type of bracket that either you can screw this onto the bracket and the bracket goes around that, more secure, or there's got to be a bracket, I'm telling you, with some type of thread on top, like a camera type thread that you can securely put this on. And when the hurricane comes, the problem I have is the last 2 hurricanes put 100-mile-an-hour winds in Grand Isle. This thing only goes up to like 89 miles an hour winds. So that's just something to ponder. But I want to get my Nubla marker. I might end up putting it by Lake Pontchartrain out here in New Orleans. I got a buddy with a camp out there, and he has a pole and with it's wood. I can just mount this straight to top the pole. There's a lot of other weather stations out there already. So you see, that's hard decisions you gotta make. I definitely want to try to get this up this weekend. Oh, what's up, Crowns? What's happening, man? You sent me a picture of what I did. I'll be right back. Y'all hold 1 second for me. All right, I had to go grab my other phone so I can see Jorge's text to me. Man, you got some stuff up there. Jeez, I thought I was bad. But you got the helium cell, outdoor cell, is that what that is? With a Wingbits antenna with a GeoNet antenna with Anacord, Weather XM with a Nubula Marco and a, what's the thing with 3 antennas? Match X or something? I don't know. Going to install a GeoNet Ano combo at my brother this weekend. Crowns, look, bro, I wish y'all luck in the world. You know, there's times, you know, this is for me, this is me personally. This is not financial advice. This is just me personally. I'm a cheap ass. And this is a time where I really like the tech, but I still worry about the ROI. And you know, I really like the tech. GeoNet, I really like the tech. Anacoy, I don't know too much about. They say they got paying customers and stuff like that. So I wish them all luck in the world. I want to see everybody be successful. Unfortunately, in the world, everybody can't be successful, but I want to see everybody successful. I just don't know about spending. You know what you spent $700 for a GeoNet, 200 plus for an Anacoy. That's 900. How much are you realistically making a day? What kind of ROI time frame is that? I guess if you like the tech and you like it long term, it don't matter. You're not worried about the ROI as long as your ROI. Either way, you're still collecting tokens. You know, like was it 110 dBm, 120 dBm, whatever his name it said, like in the chat the other day. Technically you ROIing from day one. I guess if you want to be technical, you are starting to ROI from day one. You're getting a reward and you're starting to ROI from day one. If you say so. You know, Kyle, I think it was Kyle Coffee, K Coffee. We were talking about doing a GeoNet and a super hex, and my fear is, I've been talking with my buddy. He's got Wi-Fi for me and everything, and it happens to be that he is in. He's within this hex. But the thing about this is you only have says active super hex with 119 days. And my question I keep asking is, what happens at the end of 119 days if I do put a station there? Because I know for a fact Baton Rouge remained a super hex for way longer than the initial time that it was originally set for. But like I said, if my buddy's gonna allow me to put one at his hunting lease, it's in these hexes. Wingbits is wide open. There's not a station there anywhere close to that for hundreds of miles. I'm gonna put something there. He's got Wi-Fi there. I'm just trying to work out the power. I really don't want to have to go buy a battery and solar. And I need time. This is a 4-hour drive for me. I want to make sure I have everything ready, everything that's needed. I can't go out there and realize I'm missing something or forgot something and then drive 4 hours back to 4 hours another day. That ain't working. It's an easy ride. It's on interstate all the way from Louisiana where I'm at, I-10 and I-59. But, we'll see. Geo on eBay for $400. So wait, if you do, it goes back to 365 days. So you telling me if I get a GeoNet station in here, say next week, you're thinking that it will then stay active with 2x multiplier for 365 days? Is that what you're thinking, saying? Because then it's a no-brainer at that point. Oh yeah, so Kyle better ship me his GeoNet, and that'll be my third GeoNet. We'll figure. I don't know if he's on or not. I haven't seen him yet. Because it's outside of like a hunting cabin, so he don't really care too much. He did kind of ask what it looked like, and I sent them pictures of it and stuff. But basically, I'm just putting it on a 10-foot fence rail like I do a lot of my other ones, and just stick an antenna up there and calling it a day. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. So if y'all caught my video last night, the big news, which seems to be changing daily, is Nubula. And I'm trying to see if it's changed today since I last looked. I did a video last week. It's so hard pulling questions and pulling answers out of people. Let's see. They're for a product that's been alive for so long, their Discord's worthless. And I'm talking about this is even from their admins or mods on their Discord. So I asked them today, has anyone found a bracket that will install around square metal tubing with a threaded bolt on top to install the Marco onto, like I just showed you on the picture? And this dude comes back with, here's a step-by-step walkthrough how to install your Marco. That's not what I'm asking for. Like, it took everything I had to take the high road and not say, Are y'all really that dumb, or just English your third language, and that's just how it got interpreted to you, or something? Uh, like, how do you read this thing, confuse it for step by step God? Um, I don't know. I don't know. But what we found out is we did that video yesterday on the different nodes and stuff like that, and from what I'm understanding, there will not be any nodes that Nubula will host. If you saw the I don't know if I can pull up the white paper on it. So yesterday I was given this by the Nubula people and by a mod with Helium Deploy, and said, you keep asking about the nodes or whatever like that. I kept asking them. I kept hearing that nodes were only going to be NFTs. They weren't going to be real nodes. It was NFTs. But then I had other people saying it was going to be a node, a real node, like we're used to running something. So eventually, Helium Deploy got us all in the group chat, and we were told, no, it's what it is if you buy on Helium Deploy and you buy the different nodes, they got cloudy, rainy, stormy, snowy, whatever the hell it's called. Nubula, cloud, rainy, and sunny. I guess stormy's next week. If you were to buy this when it goes on sale next week, you will only be getting an NFT at that time. See, claimable for NFT. And you also get the Moken DEPIN Tracker Pro, which I highly suggest y'all look into if you haven't looked into yet. I'm not saying that just because Helium Deploy, gives me a referral code. I do like it's a way of tracking all kinds of different projects you have on one screen. But anyway, you will get an NFT like this. And then once TGE starts, mainnet starts, that is when they will need the nodes running. And it's just like I said in my first video, was you will run a node on a low-end hardware or VPS using Nubula's simple software package with web UI, client, or Docker. So you can take, if it says low end, you can take this old Lenovo right here, tiny. I would suggest upping the RAM in it, because this one right here. It was from 2012 or 2013, he told me, maybe earlier than that. So it has an i5 processor in it, but I would bump up the RAM, and this RAM is so old that you can put whatever the max it can hold for very few dollars behind it on Amazon, and a good, solid state hard drive in it. And this is a low end hardware. And you would be able to run their software package in this and then run a node, and then you get rewarded for it. So from what I understand, today the clarification was, even though I said this in my video, there will not be delegated nodes in the beginning. That is something that's coming down the line at some point in the future, but you will not have delegated nodes. The question I have is, there are a bunch of nodes out there already. You could go to Helium Deploy, to Nubula and get your own node. But the way I'm understanding it, and if any of y'all know anything different, y'all can tell me. Basically, all you're getting at first is basically a bonus, an airdrop, until these things start running. We don't know exactly what that airdrop's can be worth, because we don't know what the but the node mining pool has its own rewards. So I'm gonna tell y'all, if you didn't watch my video last night, try to catch it. When we started hearing some possibilities, again, I gotta try to beat around the bush here without getting in trouble. One of the markets that they could possibly be going after is this gambling thing. So like tomorrow or Saturday, I told you they have this tropical depression supposed to be coming through. Does anybody want to bet on how many inches of rain we're going to get in New Orleans? Like, really, like, that's what we're betting on now. But like I showed y'all, there's some very hefty betting going on, and that it was quite crazy, the dollar amounts. Trying to remember exactly what that website was. I would like to go over it just real quick. Poly Market. $96 million worth of weather betting going on. And they need a place to get the secure data from. I think that's wild. And if Nubla really is going after that, it's going to set them above WeatherXM. Not financial advice, which means I'm just pulling that out my butt, but I really do think so. Crons are like, I hate answering those kind of questions. Crons are asked, I don't have Nubla. Should I get in? I like it. I'm telling you, I have my Nubla here. And for all transparency, next Friday, this is my plan for next Friday. Y'all have asked me a couple of times, in the Discord or in DMs, y'all asked me this question. I'm pushing these nodes thing. Am I going to look at a node? As of right now, unless there's something drastically changes that completely turns me off, I want to get involved in nodes again. I've wanted to for some time now. I believe it's truly passive income, the old school passive income like we've talked about in the past, where you set it and forget it and you go on about your life and don't have to worry about every time you get in the car. Listen, I think part of me getting stressed the hell out is getting in the car, setting up 4 phones on my dashboard. Are they connected? Or this one for some reason not connected to tethering because it doesn't have a connection and that you're paying for. And then you're going halfway down the road or you're going halfway to work and you realize for some reason the Natix app closed down or this app closed down. And I think I'm stressing myself out with all this. And I want to keep up with all of this stuff and keep doing it for y'all and to show you that I'm into all this DEPIN stuff. But then when you hear the stuff Natix is doing, and I still haven't sat down yet because I'm planning on making a video probably tonight on my Silencio rewards, but talking to some of y'all, what y'all Silencio rewards are this month, I don't know if I'm even going to cover it anymore because it's not fair to you. My buddy who's at work, who doesn't have quite as many rewards as I got, because I got referrals and stuff, but he still runs the project. He got, I don't even know what word to use. He got bent over, if that's the case, if y'all can read in between. And then to have these people on X or on my YouTube videos tell us, y'all going to be sorry because when Silencio does AI stuff, blah, 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 blah. Y'all started the AI stuff and the token price has not. My point I'm trying to get is, I think I'm getting too stressed out about all this stuff. I'm losing my hair. I've been losing my hair. But going back to, I would like to get back into a node or two in projects I trust. Some of these nodes that we went over recently are crazy, but I'd like to get back into some nodes like I was in years ago, like kind of like ASICs. You just set it in the corner. As long as you knew the dang thing was running, it was passive income. And my plan as of right now, this is Thursday, October 2nd, 7 p.m. my time. My plan as of right now is I am getting at the very least the $300 node. That is my plan. Not that I really have to justify it to y'all, but just so y'all know. But my plan also is I normally on every payday, y'all know I take about $100 out my paycheck and I DCA into VET, Solana, name one of the tokens. Or one of the whatever. Anyway, I'm tired. I'm sorry. So I'm going to take that $100. I'm also going to take whatever I make when I do my Natix shortly, my Silencio shortly, any of that goofy stuff, instead of restaking it or anything like that. Maybe a little bit of crow profit. Maybe sell off some other little tokens I might be up in. But I'm trying to offset that because I don't want to take $300 out my pocket for this. I'm trying to offset it with profits from other projects. Maybe some sword chain. I don't know. But I'm trying to offset as much as possible. If I can get a good chunk of this 300 offset like that, I'm planning on buying the cloud node, which will give me the NFT. Then I can report back to y'all. That's how positive I feel about this Nubla project. So, Kronzer, if that answers your question in a longabout way, hey, it wouldn't be the first project we get into that crashes. How about that? I know it doesn't make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, but again, this thing's got what we said yesterday, like triple the amount of stations that WeatherXM's got already, or double or something like that in less time. You know, I don't know. I don't know, but to answer like what makes this so much better than WeatherXM, I still can't answer that. I just know WeatherXM, you look at the token price and you look at what's going on with that project, and it's going in the wrong direction. Nubla's got all these stations and all these people doing all this stuff, and it's not even on mainnet yet. You get in now, you should be able to get an airdrop. You know, that's what I'm hoping too. Is also whatever this airdrop is for this cloud node, that will also offset my cost. Yes, it's going to be after I paid for it, but hey, I can reimburse myself or something like that later if I take profit on it. And that is kind of my goal for next Friday. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff that can happen in my life between now and next Friday. So who knows? You know, I already got a refrigerator broken. What's a washer and dryer or something at this point? Sword chain, last I checked, Sword chain's not even paying me out right now. You know, I can tell y'all straight up, I was making about 500 tokens a day, strictly in staking because I got so much staked. And I've had 1,000 sitting in that staking wallet as far as rewards for the last 2 or 3 days. And let's see if it's going to call me. Nope, I still got 1,000 rewards in staking. So they're not paying staking rewards. I've also had where, you know, I'll go to work and not that I expect it to be a lot, but I also, you know, I'll get like 17 or 20 sword tokens as my device is connected. But the next day after that, you should see your SOAR go up in your transfer section. That should be the SOAR you made from connecting the day before that. And I don't. I have 1,300 SOAR that's been sitting there from my dashboard camera, and it's been sitting at that same amount. So nobody's getting rewards right now. At least the last time I looked, again, I don't want to be called a liar. The last time I looked, you had people, you know, I'm looking back at the Discord now, and you know, they still haven't paid Cosmos stakers. I know there's a lot of people who are waiting on that. I didn't get involved in that part. This guy says the last sword chain mini reward was on 25th September. That was September 30th. This dude got 4,000 sold for 1 month. I got 1,000. Jesus. Fundamental changes to the project. In upcoming periods are focused. Nothing. I mean, there's, but yeah, people complaining about. I don't know. I don't know what's going on Sword Chain. I had a lot of faith in Sword Chain. I thought they were going to be a competitor to Demo since they both use those kind of OB2 devices, and it's been far, not even close. Not even close. Which project are your top 3 for 2026? Wingbits, Nubla, and what else? GeoNet. Now, if you're asking me about rewards, I don't know. But as far as what projects itself do I like, as far as do I feel warm and cozy about, you know, in the, like the tech, you have to be in it for the tech. Easily, I would even vote that as Wingbits, GeoNet tied for first. and then GeoNet and Wingbits and GeoNet, and then tied for third. Oh, tied for first, 1-2, and then Nubla third right now. Demo, I think they have kind of lost their way a little bit with this. One minute they're telling us they're going to sell our data. Now they're telling us it's up to us to sell data. Like we're going to go into to eBay and start selling our data somehow. If you would have asked me that question, say, if you would have asked me that question a month or two ago, I wasn't that into Nubla. I would have said Chirp, but I really feel Chirp has lost their way, has lost their whole, like they have literally, like this was their roadmap this way, and they're not completely into the woods right now on a 4-wheel drive path or something, but they're getting to that point. Like somebody needs to go and Jesus grab the wheel and pull it back, because they are only worried about KAGE and this stupid thing. And when's the last time y'all have heard anybody in this chat right now? Anybody in this chat? Let me see. So we got 15 people in the chat right now. Make sure you hit the like button. Out of y'all 15 people, does anybody, when's the last time y'all heard Chirp talk about their IoT network? Yeah, they were supposed to be the new and improved Helium version 2.0. All the restrictions and everything that kept Helium down, Chirp was going to be on 2.4 gigahertz. They're on a different, better long range network with faster throughput, and they weren't going to have all these restrictions. And what happened? They do have some of the best rewards, as you can see here, but long term, they need to get the bus back on the road. I know it's a long answer. So I would still say, I'm really contemplating. I know my videos on Mondays are getting longer than an hour, well longer than an hour, no matter how short I try to make them. And I really, really am thinking of just X and Demo off of it, X and Nadix off of it, X and Swordchain off of it, X and Irwin off of it, where I can talk a little bit more about the projects I do enjoy or I do see positive things about: the GeoNets, the Nublas, Wingbits, even 375 AI. My problem with them is there's been very little talk, even though they keep saying and putting the things like next week we're going to mainnet. We've been hearing that since July. But if you've been involved with 375 AI, I don't know. What worries me about 375 AI is it just seems like most of these projects with just free apps and you don't have any hardware really tied to it won't seem to be do as good. But yeah, look at Swordchain. It had hardware tied to it. So like button this year. I appreciate that. I think Silencio, listen, I have egg on my face. I'm not gonna sit and lie to y'all and tell y'all I was not at first intrigued with when they first came out with the idea of raffle tickets. I thought that was the coolest because they were the first ones to do it. But then you started hearing about certain people, the cheerleaders in their Discord, who had less raffle tickets than me, who were getting substantially more Silencio than we were getting. Then you started seeing these attacks on YouTubers who were giving out influencers that were giving out their referral codes. And that kind of started going across X and Twitter and stuff. But my point I'm getting at is that I've always made this argument. Y'all set up the referrals. If we took advantage of them, don't blame us, because Silencio is not doing advertising on this Sunday's American football game. Demo is not doing advertising on the Super Bowl in January or February. So if it wasn't for influencers getting these words out, I still say Wingbits is as big as it is because at one time, please listen to this question. Please listen to this statement all the way through before somebody thinks I've lost my mind. But because in the beginning I loved Wingbits so much, I was doing like 3 videos a week. But it wasn't just me. It was Tech Hustler and it was Passive Mining Crypto and all these guys doing these Wingbits videos. That's how the word got out. Because how else would it have gotten out? You don't see Wingbits advertising in the newspaper. Yes, they were going to some conferences, but if it wasn't for influencers spreading the news about Nubla and Brusho, I know a bunch of y'all got Brusho. How many of y'all heard about Brusho or were going to get a Brusho before they heard about it from me? Think about it. And I don't even get a referral code on that one. I get a referral code from here, but not from the project. But my point is, you know, what I was getting at was, though, you found that these influencers who had, like me, 750,000 tickets, or like Tech Hustler, who was #1 in ranking, but majority, 90% of his was from referrals. He wasn't getting nothing in Silencio. And if it was a true raffle ticket system, it shouldn't matter. I was running the project. I got all these goals and these hexes and everything like that. And I still had these cheerleaders with less raffle tickets than me pass me up. And that's bullshit. You know what? So my point I'm getting at with that long story, overwinded story, and I apologize, but is that raffle tickets aren't working. You pay me for what, I'll go do sound readings. But I think the biggest problem I got, in case y'all didn't hear me first 2 times, I don't want to see King Henry get smushed by spikes up his rear end and bleed all over the place in these ads or any ad. Silencio's getting paid supposedly for the sound readings we're making. We are contributing to them, and we got to turn around and watch ads that are in turn paying them, or we can pay them for a subscription to not see ads. That is the cheap, like the cheapest, like, crap. And I just hate it. And that's another reason why I refuse to at all be involved. Listen, I was in the Silencio. Like a bad habit, like a crack habit. Not that I've ever been addicted to crack before, but I'm sure when I got up, I made sure I signed it. I had like a hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of day streak going on. 500, 400, because I know it was more than a year because you got a reward for a year. And I just put it down. I had enough. Like I cold turkey, just had enough. I would wake up and go do my, we call it, or at least I call it my morning glory in the morning in the bathroom on the toilet. And I was making sure I was hitting my first 3 awards that you have to get every day, or your challenges every day. And I was going to lunch, running it. I'm on vacation with my family in New York, and I'm more worried about hitting Silencio venues. I was into it. And yet I was getting screwed on tokens. And when I was done with my New York trip, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but something else happened with Silencio that triggered me. And I'm like, when I think back of my family vacation in June, my son's going off to college, and we decided to do this big long road trip and stuff. And we went to Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. and Baltimore and New York and New Jersey. I think about Silencio. And I just cold turkey stopped it. And, I did all that, and with 700,000 tickets, and I got like $13 for all that. And I'm like, F this, I'm done. Kind of like I keep showing y'all them videos. Like when you go to casino and this dealer's getting up and the next dealer's coming in, what's that dealer do? He goes and he shows that he ain't got no cards in his hands or nothing like that. Boom, boom, and I'm out. And I'm telling y'all, my Silencio staking ends November, December, and I'm out. Probably be deleted from my phone. I don't care about this AI thing. I'm not downloading so I can go speak Cajun English to people to interpret it. And if I miss out, because I kind of wanted to tell you all this, but I plan on telling you this when I do my video probably tomorrow on Silencio. It's very rare I get this pissed off at a project. But I am adult enough to say that I am so disgusted with this project that even if it quadruple and then quadruples again because of this AI thing, I will still say them. Tell you I had a bad day. That's some jewelry type of, that's just how I feel about Silencio. You know, I mean, y'all thought I hated Demo. Silencio said, "Hold my beer." Um, I just, I think part of it is like when you go to Silencio, they're like, and you try to tell people and voice your opinion and stuff. And I know I'm grumpy all the time, and I try to tell them, and you know what they say? Nobody's forcing you to watch the ads. Well, if you don't watch the ads, then you don't get nothing. You forcing us to watch the ads because you don't get any points if you don't watch the ads, because every venue in my town has been picked up already. Most of my hexers are picked up already, so I'm not going to get anything at all if I don't watch ads. So what choice do I have? I'll tell you what choice I have. Come December, peace out. It's not worth stressing me. I'm telling you. I sit here and say I'm so done with natives, especially after this announcement about them totally slashing the rewards and stuff. And then what am I doing on my way to work this morning? Already running late for work, but I'm still sitting in my driveway trying to set my natives up. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like a bad crack habit. I gotta break myself out of. Like, part of me just feels like it's so easy to make rewards. All you do is set these cameras up. I got 4 cameras on my dashboard. Look like a fool. Well, I'm gonna get in a wreck and I'm gonna be dashing, dipping and dashing and ducking and everything else. Phones, God forbid. Sword chain, the camera thing. It seemed like it was easy enough. You don't get nothing for, like, literally nothing for that. I mean, if I want literally nothing, I'll go mess with some more Irwin stuff. As part of me having a YouTube channel, I'm trying to broaden my horizon. I want to get involved in more projects and bring those projects to y'all and discuss them. Like, I like these lives. We were on live the other night for over 2.5 hours almost. I like chit chat with y'all. But part of me is like, but is it worth the stress to run natives to get $1.39 for the entire month? Like, I just cause I'd like to be able to say, hey, just going off the same question he just asked that triggered all this. I'd like to be able to sit back and say, yep, I'm just going to run Wingbits, GeoNet, Entropy, Rover, and Nubla. Period. That's it. But then how boring would that channel get if I just talk about 5 projects the whole time? So I'm gonna tell y'all, and then you say all that. You say all that. And I told y'all, you will know what the number one project that has paid out in the last year? I'll tell y'all what the last project is. I call it my son's college fund. Look at this. In the year. And really, I didn't get serious with this until June. In June, I took out $200. Earnapp's killing it. And look, I did a video bashing them, and I have to apologize because I'm one of those rare YouTubers that will. But, dude, you go and you press PayPal, and the money shows up in your PayPal in 24 hours. You ain't got to worry about cashing out no tokens. You don't have to worry about anything. It's great. I'm trying to see where normally it tells me where. September 19th. What was that? 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. I'm back. I have $90 worth already in 2 weeks. Now, again, I got 10, 12 devices, but I got 14 DIY devices for Wingbits. Some on the same IP, so it doesn't help me. But, and for my host, I Venmo my host of $20 and say, hey, man, this is for me running another program. What do you think? Oh, okay, thanks, appreciate it. One of my other hosts took him out to eat lunch the other day. Oh, you paying for me, man? That project's paying out? No, I'm running another project on that pie I got at your house. Oh, okay, no problem. I don't hide stuff from my host. But look, I mean, I made this. And a month later, I cashed out this. And a month later, I cashed out this. 6 days later, I cashed out this. You know, look at this. The 16th, 13 days later, I made $64. And honestly, I haven't even been through this lately because I've been lazy. But see how I got a couple of these offline? That's the only thing is every now and then you do have to go through these and just reboot the piece, the PC or the Pi. You got to run an app update or something like that to get the profile updated. But this has been my best. And technically, like I said, it's not even crypto. And yes, I have a referral code below because if you use the referral for Earn App, you also get a bonus to start off with. And I didn't go through all this just to give you the thing, but I'm like, hell, you might as well use it so you can get bonus. But like the other ones, like I loved Honey Gain. I cashed out $100 of Honey Gain last year on my hunting trip in November. Only got like $30. And the same devices running Earn App are also running Honey Gain. That shows you the comparison. Mr. Olafson said he finally got his B. What kind of rewards are people making with that now? Is it completely trashed, or because the big concern, I canceled my B. That was another project I wanted to get into at the time, Hive Mapper, but they kept delaying my B, and then you started hearing about all these fleets, and these fleet orders. Excuse me, 18-wheelers and all these delivery trucks. Everybody was getting a B, and I'm like, I see this. This is helium version 2.0, the bad way. And I'm like, hit my car in reverse, and I backed out of that. So do I know the Mawari project? No, Andre, I do not. B13X. I know. I'm sorry. I had some of y'all ask me that. Y'all can't see the questions when y'all watch this video, like say Friday or Saturday. So I'm supposed to be repeating the questions. I apologize. It's something new for me. B13SR, my buddy in Canada, X wants to know, yeah, but how are we cashing out SLC? I hope there's a YouTube video for that. I mean, it's on Peak. There's got to be a way people are cashing Silencio out. I mean, I know Peak is very limited on dexes and stuff like that. And Peak itself is on the crypto.com app, because that's where I DCA into Peak at. Not next Friday because I'm buying my node. But somewhere you have to be able to, let's look at Coin Market Cap. Silencio. Silencio is up 168% for the month. Cheers to him. And this is just Diet Coke, because I've learned, I did like 1 or 2 lives when I started drinking my Bywater bourbon early. And y'all thought my mouth was wild sometimes, like a little while ago. And that was me not drinking at all. You should have been on those lives. I don't know how YouTube didn't cancel me. So Machine X Gate, Mexi, Dollar General. You know, I say Mexi is like the Dollar General of exchanges. KuCoin, BingX, Bitmart, Aerodrome Finance, Uniswap. It looks like majority of this is being done on KuCoin when you look at the volume. Problem is, when you start playing with some of these, I'm not gonna say exactly how to play with those when you're in the United States. You risk because you risk putting your token on those exchanges, and then you can't pull them off. So you kind of have to do like a test run first. I'm not saying I would do that. I don't get in trouble with the FCC, SEC, NCAA, or anything like that. I'm just saying there have been people who I've seen on YouTube using like VPNs to be able to access some of these. I'm not saying I would do that because some of these now like still want you to KYC, no matter if you're using VPN or not, and you're saying you're from, you know, Europe or Australia or wherever. So I don't know. I don't. There's got to be a way. I think I'm burned in all these Discords. So maybe one of y'all might need to go to Discord and say, you know, hey, I'm trying to pay for like my dog's cancer treatment or something. Can y'all tell me, is there any way at all to take a little bit of profit from Silencio? You know, I know that's like blasphemy to ever ask that in a project. How dare you take 75 cents profit from this project? You're so greedy. You know, I don't know. ROI is about 700 days. 619 said, you got the one he returned. Yep. 619, thanks for visiting. We were talking about you earlier, but we won't tell you what we said. You're going to have to go back and watch. Listen, Demo, if there was a poster project for Grumpy's favorite words, if I called right now 5 different people that I work with on speaker and said, hey, what is Grumpy's favorite words? Or ask them, what is permanently etched, because it's been there so long, on the dry erase board behind Grumpy's desk? 5 different people you could call, and all of them would say, I told you so. And I know that's the most arrogant a-hole saying, because I've had people tell me, that is the most arrogant a-hole thing you could say. The problem is people don't listen. Because if they listened, I wouldn't ever have to say that. But I tried telling people. Demo played with y'all's heartstrings and y'all's wallet spirits. I don't know what word to use. And people fell for it. People saw. Where's it at? This right here. People saw this going up to 8 and 9 cents. And they all FOMO'd back into Demo and got subscriptions. They acknowledged that. We had X amount of subscriptions come back. I still think Demo was snorting lines at the club and saw that, holy hell, it's Monday. Why are they don't have as many cars out? Hey, nobody got subscriptions. Oh, well, we need to take our party fund money and we need to throw it into some liquidity. Jack the price up. And now you're down 17% from where you were a month ago. You're below where you were even before this jump. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. Now, the one thing I'll kind of let you argue with me on is, if I'm not mistaken, subscriptions are only for a month. So at some point, if these people got subscriptions here around October 6th, that means after Monday's rewards, this upcoming Monday, people might not renew those subscriptions. And are we going to have this price jump again? 'Cause I'm going to tell you right now, you let this go back up a little bit. Grumpy's like, I haven't restaked anything. So anything I've made, like I'm stuck in staking with this for 6 months also. I'm telling you right now, New Year's around my house is going to be great. Because there's a lot of projects I'm staked in for 6 months or 3 months that all end around December, January. Christmas presents, I guess. I don't know. Paying off bills. Not with $27 worth of freaking sword chain. But you know what I'm saying. This price jump right here was nice. And it might be time to sip some profits. You know, I'm not even getting to the whole gut feeling, you know, and I got a fat gut. I've been going to the gym every day about killing myself, dying, chest pains and everything. It's hard getting back in shape. You're out of shape, so you can't do cardio, but you got to do cardio to get in shape. But you try to do, you get a chest cramp just from climbing onto the treadmill or elliptical. It's a joke. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what. I know I'm the rare YouTuber, and I know I'm negative all the time, and I got FUD all over me. But I'm very worried about alt season this year. I am very worried. This shutdown is going on right now. I know that crypto is worldwide. I'm not trying to trigger who fought it, but this shutdown is not going to do it. Listen, I know they got some people out there saying my stocks went up 17% yesterday. Yeah, but a lot of them didn't. And I know gold went up and stuff like that, but I'm listen, I keep saying that there's going to be a alt season in November, December. I watched a lot of people who were saying that when they looked at actual analysis, not these YouTubers who've been saying for the last month and a half, the alt season starting right now. Now's the time to go buy these 6 tokens. No. People who actually did research and looked at dominance and stuff like that. I don't know what kind of alt season we're going to have. I don't know what kind of alt. And that's what I've been holding on to all these tokens for. So what do? Do you just sell and just take the loss or take, is it really a loss? It ain't really a loss because I still barely ROI'd on my 5 demo devices. But do you wait for it to go down some more? Do you sit here and just hold on to it for another 2 or 3 years, hoping there's an alt season 2 or 3 years from now? There was one thing I said, and I don't know anything about TA. So y'all don't come to me for TA at all. I understand that. So it sucks for me. I don't know why I'll even make this comment because I have nothing to back it up. But one thing that I looked at with between the last 2 alt seasons and now, do you realize how many more alt tokens there are now just compared to the alt season we had in, what was it, 2021, right before COVID or whatever it was? You realize how many more alts we have now? That money, that's like saying, and then the alt season we had before that, you had 5. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I'm saying? You had 10, 12, 15, maybe, whatever. Alts, you had Ethereum and Litecoin and XRP and Dash or whatever it was, and ZNet and stuff like that. You had money pouring into, it's kind of like digging a hole. If you got 2 gallons of water and you're putting it in this hole, you're going to fill up that hole. But then 2 or 3 years later, if you take and say 3 gallons of water, but the hole's now this bigger, yeah, it's going to get filled up, but it's not going to be just as high. The problem is now I can't zoom out long enough, but now we have so many altcoins, the hole's this big. How much water does it take, or money does it take to alter all those alt tokens? And that is just my gut feeling that, we've seen the total amount of money going into crypto go up recently, but not affect altcoins. And I just think it's because there's so many freaking altcoins. We won't even get started with meme coins. What they said last, I heard one time 2,000 memes coming up a day. That was before you had pump.fun. Blame Kyle for the dip. Kyle, I ain't blaming Kyle. Kyle's the smartest one out of all of us. some of y'all are like, oh, it's gonna keep going up. It's gonna keep going up. I'm not selling. Me, I'm like, short amount stuck staking. And then I realized, well, not all of it technically stuck staking, stuck, staked, whatever. Oh, I got $413 worth of demo. I've been in demo for 20, is it 22? 12 months, and then in October 12th, 22 months, and I got $400. I mean, 62 demo a week is not bad, but let me see when it says my stake. My stake. Oh no, this one says my staking is active until Halloween. I might be right next to Kyle Coffee. I don't know. How's my Ash performing, Grumpy? About as well as everybody else's, buddy. About as well as everybody else's. It's still sitting here pumping. Not as sexy as it was at one. It showed us, I hate to feel like a what's the word? See, I can't use words I normally would use at work because I'm gonna get in trouble with YouTube. But kind of like it sort of seemed like kind of like a woman who marries a man and he might be fat and ugly as hell, but he's the CEO of a company and half his age. This thing was a lot sexier when it was making me $5 a day than it is right now making me 99 cents a day. But look, I still promote it. I have one sitting on my desk, and on the shelf, on my top shelf of my desk, where I have books and stuff like that. One of my 5 computer monitors. I do have one long curve monitor finally coming, but one of my 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 monitors. I have my fantasy football trophy, picture of my kids, my Weather XM device, my Chirp little weather thing. Now, I mean, this desk is this long, and right in the center of it, I have this box. Just to cause people like, what the hell's an Ashley? That says Ashler. I know I'm blind, but Jesus. Oh, it's nothing. That's right, that's nothing. Keep on walking. And I have this on my desk. So I'm still fighting a good fight. I'm still, I got all my Ashlers connected. I had 3 ESP32 devices running that I got creds for over time. But when I went to collect all 3 of them, one of them showed online, and I have been so busy and lazy because it's making 99 cents a day. I did reboot the 3rd one that was offline. I didn't get rewards all week. I never went back to see if it even showed like I was getting reward from it. I'm still running them. I don't know what's going on with NFTs. It's been so long since I went to the damn website. That's another thing. I really need to get off my ass and sell my 2 extra NFTs. I don't know if anybody's even buying them or what they're going for. Ooh, them prices came down. Another thing I waited too long for. They had 5 that were sold last 24 hours. Y'all can't see the pricing. Let's see. See if I can drag this over a little bit for y'all. Oh, man. That's another thing I waited too long to do. The last one sold for 58, a half a Solana, 61377. You can instantly sell it now for 484. And then what's the cheapest snake going for? That's what I got. The snake. Boy, them prices came down. At one time, snakes were 4 Solana. Oh, this is another. I don't know why y'all follow me. I make the worst decisions in the world. I hold on to everything too long. And y'all sit here and tell me to sell, and y'all sit there and tell me to get rid of some of this stuff, and I still hold it too long. See, I could possibly sell one of my NFTs and get that money for a more expensive Nubla nude. That's my biggest thing. My biggest thing is I'm gonna sell this. I'd like to try to keep my money involved in crypto, if that makes sense. Me selling an NFT for $230. What am I gonna do with that? Take my family out to eat. I'd like to try to reinvest, even though that's what burned me with helium. Was when I was making $5,000 in 17 days. I go and buy 20 more helium devices. But I would like to sell. I wish I would have bought more NFTs with Entropy, because I've said that was an easy way to sell Entropy, an indirect way without getting in trouble. You could sell your NFT. And that's why I bought some extra. I got 2 extra. Really, I bought like 4 extra, but I have the perfect combination to get the 2.0 rewards. So I have a whale, snake, and ape, but I have another extra whale that I can sell, and I got another snake I can sell. But my point I'm getting in with all of this is I would like to be able to sell one of those NFTs, but then take that 200 and roll that into something else, whether it's a node project or another Nubla or something, Yeah. Are you getting a Quake Core miner? No. I know I mentioned that. That's something I might have to look into. But that's my point is I'd like to get into some more projects, like, say, Quake Core, say, Nubla, second device. I've been wanting to put one of these at my hunting camp. They don't have any weather stations around my hunting lease. I want to know. The one thing I don't like about this, in all my years of dealing with weather, emergency management, having commercial companies come and wanting us to get on board with their weather stuff, I've never seen a weather. And I think I know I'm gonna say I'm sitting here, I'm knocking a project. I just told y'all how great I felt about it. I've never seen a weather station that don't tell you if it's raining or not, or how much it's raining, or anything like that. WeatherXM can do that. Now, my WeatherXM station was broken during a hurricane when we got 5 inches or 6 inches or 10 inches of rain by my work, and it showed 0 rain. It's 8:00. My dog's waiting for her treat. If y'all hear her barking, she's more timely than an auditor. And nobody's gave her treat yet at 8:00. And so she knows, and she don't keep sitting there barking until I get up, because my daughter's watching her TV show in her room with her headphones on, so she can't hear. My wife's listening to her in some series that she's probably binge watching, and she's so tuned in the TV she can't. I'm so lucky my wife doesn't watch this live, but they're both so tuned out. It's going to take me to get up in the middle of this live and go give that poor dog her treat. If you'll see my little dog, she went to the groomer today. She heard me pull up in my diesel truck at the groomers to pick her up, and she was screaming from before I even got to the door. Get me the F out this place. But anyway, my point is, has anybody ever seen a weather station that does not have rain sensing, rain amounts, or anything? That is my one issue I have with this thing. My one issue. I bought my entry the NFT and the actual stuff, and so that blue thing came out for some reason. I don't know about that one. I always reach out to him in the Discord, but I know how that goes sometimes. It's like going into a frat house and asking for directions to church or something. My son told me last week he's joining a fraternity at his college, and I'm like, I'm happy he's going up there. You know, he's 4 hours away, completely new people. I'm glad he can hang out with new friends and stuff like that and make friends. But a fraternity, I'm like, I remember like while I'm looking this up, and I'm just telling this quick story. I know I talk too much. I remember going out with one of my buddies who was in a fraternity at college, and this was after I failed out of math in college and stuff, and I was doing my other thing. Um, one of his frat boys got jumped. This was like a white upper class gang in polo shirts. They there was next thing you know, there was 10 guys throwing up alpha signs, like like you know, I've seen gang signs before. Y'all know where I worked on patrol for many years, and in some rough areas, places you didn't go in even alone and stuff, and people that thought they were gang bangers and stuff. This was like a white gang, this fraternity. It was like I've seen, and that's not just the one fraternity. My son's not joining that same fraternity, but these guys were like, it was a brotherhood. And one guy got jumped because this one dude thought he was trying to hit on the girlfriend. And next thing you know, there's like 10 guys in white polo shirts and sandals, like on top this dude. And I'm like, getting the hell out of here. Like, this is crazy. Like, they thought some other fraternity brother was about to get their fight around the corner, and they were like going, like it was just like craziness. So when my son tells me he's joining a fraternity, I'm like, look, when you come home next weekend, we're about to have, like, it's one thing to go out and party, but now you're talking about a fraternity, we're gonna have to have a long talk. I know, I'm sorry. I got off key there. Let's take a look at Quake Core. Boom, boom. They need to just remove this. This is so, like, if one person doesn't care for the project for some reason, or gets pissed off or kicked out the Discord, they're gonna go and put a scam, even though this project's possibly not a scam at all. Because 22 people wouldn't say they like it if it was a scam. Oh yeah, this is the earthquake one. We don't have earthquakes down here. The only time we have earthquakes down here is when LSU's playing a real big rivalry, and everybody goes crazy at the stadium. That's a true story. Google it. We have set off at the LSU stadium on Saturdays. I used to go all the time before I had kids. You want to talk about crazy party atmosphere? You got to go to church on Sunday just from the stuff you see over there. But at LSU, Tiger Stadium, Death Valley, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, whatever. But they upset somebody with an interception in overtime or something, and the crowd went so crazy they literally kicked off the seismic readings over there, whatever you call it, seismographs. But like, if you get paid just for monitoring, then that's cool. If I actually need earthquakes, I'm gonna have to send this to my boys in California. So let's say, who fought it says Quake Core is not good unless you earn an earthquake area, which we're not an earthquake area. Put Quake Core at a cheap motel, measure bedrockage. Yeah. I would make another comment, but one day my wife is going to see these videos. I'm going to get in trouble. Smothered with a pillow in the middle of the night. Need to make a DEPIN for a treat device. I'm surprised they ain't got one yet. All the cat and dog stuff that people love their cats and dogs. You look at videos and with stuff, and people people want to protect cats and dogs more than want to protect humans these days. I'm surprised there's not some kind of DEPIN project along that route. What was the DEPIN project I came up with the other day? And I'm like, this is my $1 million DEPIN idea. Oh, was it? I don't know. $1 million idea I gave away. What else? I wonder what else. What else? Let's see what else we got. See, like, how do you know it's a scam? They're not even on mainnet yet. This is my thing why I have a problem with this vote. 3 votes because it's a scam. Why? You explain to me why this is a scam. You brush your teeth with it. Look how white. See? I brush my teeth twice a day. And it actually gives me motivation. I don't want nobody to think I'm gross. I always brush my teeth when I wake up in the morning before I go to work, all the time. But you're supposed to brush them before you go to bed. And look, sometimes I stay up way too late, stay up to 1 o'clock in the morning playing Call of Duty. I get in the shower. I'm barely awake enough to even get back in bed. You're lucky I even dry off before I get in bed. Sometimes I don't want to brush my teeth. I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm waking up in 4 or 5 hours anyway. I'm brushing them again anyway. And then like my wife's going to try to kiss me at 1 a.m. I'm going to bed. But knowing I'm going to get oral tokens, you know me, I'm a cheap ass. I'm like, I want more oral tokens. And I go brush my teeth every night before I go to bed now. So, like, explain to me why you think this is a scam. Just because it's brushing teeth DEPIN, What else we got? I vote for that wine NFT on Who Fought It Found. Was that what we were talking about? The wine NFT? Yeah, that my wife would start doing videos on. Dude, 619 says, I went to bed at 1:30 after watching police chases. Dude, I get stuck on YouTube at night. Like, I'm like, okay, it's 11 o'clock, 11:30. Me and all my friends are getting off Call of Duty. Let me go to YouTube and check some comments and see if I got to clean up any comments, any scammers. And then I see some Metallica concert. I'm like, oh man, look, Metallica played in Turkey. Oh, let me watch a little bit of that. And then you see over here where, oh look, this is rare footage of Nirvana playing at some stadium, and Kurt Cobain's guitar broke when he threw the guitar out. I'm like, oh, let me go watch that again. Then it's Beastie Boys in London that I must have watched 150 times because that concert is so awesome, front to back. I will literally put it on YouTube at my office when I got to do a lot of radio programming and I don't want nobody to bother me. Kind of like if you ever saw that Facebook movie when the dude's got headphones in because he's dialed into programming. I'm like that with my Motorola radios. I don't want people to come in and bother me. I don't want to get messed up. I put headphones on. So I'll put on the Beastie Boys London concert. I think it's London. And then I've watched that 100 times, but I'll watch that crap again. And then next thing you know, I'm watching something else. And then I'm watching Chad Smith. Here's 30 Seconds to Mars. Like, then I'm watching YouTube, my fantasy football team. Half the people are heard of my fantasy football team. So now I'm watching, well, what waivers who should I be picking up on waivers? Then I saw Wendy O talk about this crypto black swan. That it took everything I had not to say the queen of clickbait is back at it again. And this is what I'm watching at night. The genius of Metallica's Enter Sandman. and then I'm trying to decide which one of these guys I'm going to pick up. And then I got a lift on my truck 2 days ago. So now I'm blonding everybody. So I got to figure out how to do a headlight adjustment. And I'm just like, this is just crazy. Beastie Boys in Glasgow. I'm telling you, front to back, can watch the whole thing. From literally the beginning when the DJ comes out to the end, I'm stuck watching the whole thing. Oh, and then what I've been stuck in is watching movie reactions where people are watching like Deadpool versus Wolverine for the first time, or people watching. I will argue with anybody that that I know. Look, I know we're way off the crypto thing right now, but the the number one song live ever made, and people choke up every time they watch it, was find it. Pearl Jam. That's Jeremy. Pearl Jam Black MTV version right here. And everybody who watches it, and so I watched the reaction videos to this, and every girl goes from almost having the big O to crying their eyes out at the end. It is that much, and I think this is still one of the best songs of my generation. And I'll argue with anybody all day. And I sit here and watch this crap, and I sit here and watch all these reaction videos all the time, and I'm stuck here. The next thing you know, like I started at 11:30. Next thing you know, it's 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, then I can't wake up in the morning, and I can't get out of bed. And I'm like, okay, look, just get through the day. We're going to bed early tonight. And next thing you know, it's 1:30 in the morning again. Oh no, guys, I'm killing y'all. I'm sorry. Make sure you hit the like button if you're sick of hearing me talk about YouTube stuff. We're testing DEPIN that doesn't involve plumbing. Testing DEPIN that doesn't involve plumbing. What else we went over? What else is there? I saw one of y'all talking about Tempe the other day. Don't know what the hell Tempe is, but one of y'all was in my Discord talking about Tempe. That's a node that's a little too much for my taste. There was another node, Beamable. This one was KFC first, but is this the one that's about gaming or something? So let me ask y'all this. Y'all, this is me learning from y'all now. We're flipping the script on this YouTube channel, on this YouTube video. I know many of y'all are in it. So I have a niece that's living in New Orleans. For those of y'all familiar with the New Orleans area, it's on Magazine Street. Huge, huge tourist every weekend during the week. Tourist hotspot. Right catty corner from the block from her, easily where her balcony is. That's where I'm planning on putting eventually, if I ever get down there, I'm putting a box with a Wingbits and helium device in it. But on weekends for college football games and for the Sunday games on Sundays, that bar is like the local and tourist hangout. It's known for it. You me tell you what they're famous for? They are famous for it's gonna sound evil, but this is just their big thing that like they have pictures of the assassination. Lee Harvey Oswald. This is where he visited, because Lee Harvey Oswald was from New Orleans before he shot Kennedy, and this was his favorite hangout. So tourists come to it, and it's huge. My question I'm getting with all that is, does helium even make outdoor devices anymore? Like, that are completely seamless? Like, if I stick, because she told me I can put whatever I want on her balcony. I can't wait for Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras there is going to be lit. They got some of the biggest parades from Mardi Gras that pass right in front of her house on that balcony. So that's going to be lit too. But is there a helium device now? Is everything indoor? Some of these, I talked to Jorge at one time about this, but I don't want anything that people have to actually go on their phone and connect to. I want it to be completely seamless. I want to stick this node outside. She has fiber with tremendously stupid AT&T direct home fiber. So she has tremendously stupid up and down speeds. But I'm trying to figure out is, I know they don't really do cell phone offloading now on with correct? Is that correct? That shows like I'm still with helium on the IoT side. I'm old school. I have not gotten involved anything with the mobile. But do they do any kind of cellular offloading, anything? Or is it all just now just basically it's all T-Mobile unless it's Miami? Does Miami even still do helium offloading? Or helium cellular? What happened to all the phones in Mexico, the 40,000 phones in Mexico that were supposed to be doing it? Did they pivot to doing only Wi-Fi offloading now? Or how does that work? J Style simply messaged me about it. They do make an outdoor device. Every node over 1,000. Check out ZBCN Crypto. I'll have to look into that. CBCN Crypto. All right, so I know some of y'all have sold entropy ash alkalites on here. Don't you get like raped for like almost half of the price just in fees or something like that? And when was the last time a snake was even? That's my point. Is so now you go into like almost like a FOMO type thing, where do you sell your NFT now and try to make 0.8 Solana off of it, or do you hope it comes back? That's where we at right now. Here's an 8 for 0.75. It's been a while since the snake apparently has been sold. Here's a snake. Now see, this says 2. So, see, originally he listed for 3, then came down to 2, then 1. Somebody offered him 1.8, 1.9, and then they bought it for 1.9. So they bought it for 1.9. The one over here, oh, let's say 1.9. And he ended up getting 1.3 Solana off of it. So 1.9 Solana was $440. He ends up getting 1.3 Solana. $300. So they made $139 in fees. God dang it. But I guess nothing's forcing you to go through Magic Eden. If you trust the person selling this, you don't have to go through Magic Eden. Like if you know somebody who's selling, like if somebody wants to buy my snake from me, they can technically just send me some Solana and I can just send them the alkalite, right? Yes, I've heard of Caspa. Do I think NFTs will make a comeback? Are you asking me about the NFTs for entropy or NFTs in general? Because I'm old school. I have, and listen, please don't unsubscribe when I say this. I know some of y'all love your NFTs. Again, I'm saying this because I'm old school. I'm 50 years old. And one day y'all will be 50, and then you won't understand why some of these youngsters like the things they like. I never saw, even in the last bull run when NFTs really blew up, I never could understand or get the drift with NFTs. We knew what some of these apes were going. When you hear people were buying, NFTs for like 10 Ethereum and or stupid numbers and Sandbox and all these different things like that, Decentraland and all that NFTs and these apes, and I'm like, I just, and I've had people try to explain it to me, and I was like, to to me, and I know I might be wrong, I know it might be too basic, but to me, if I have an ape that I'm selling, or if I go buy an ape, there's only a certain amount of people who are going to be into ape NFTs who are going to be willing. So I really have narrowed down who's going to want that. Where if I go buy Ethereum, I can go sell that in an exchange. But again, not everybody wants to go buy a Beanie Baby. Not everybody wants to go buy baseball cards, but I had baseball cards up in the attic literally since I was 5 or 6 years old, that who knows who the hell they are. I've said I've always wanted to keep them, and one day I'm going to go through them. I think me and my son went through them when he was younger. And there was a couple people that it was worth a couple of dollars. But my point is, not if I go to some average person on the street and say, man, this baseball card is worth $150, I'll give you $100 for it. They'd be like, I don't want no freaking baseball card. So I understand there's certain niches that might want that. I know it's a very, very long answer. So, but reason I say that long answer is because I just feel my attitude is slighted when I say don't know if these NFTs will come back. I think it's, and I'm gonna say this, but I'm gonna preface it first by saying, y'all know I'm still into this project. I still participate in their discords. I don't really do videos on them because there's no new news coming out with them, but it was a lot easier to sell an NFT for $400 when the project was making $10 or $8 or $6 a day. I think the problem comes in is they're still trying to sell Ashlers for $130. And then you have to go buy an NFT to go along with that Ashler. And when you're making $1 a day, if you got to go buy a $200 NFT, $250 NFT, you're looking at a year ROI. Unless the professor and them are shaking cans somewhere and got, some way of putting some decent amount of liquidity into this token. Every time it tries to recover, people take profits from it. Here you go, right here. Somebody sold $500 for $9 million. They basically booted out the project. Yeah, you made $500. So some people, if this was from mining with an ESP32, they're like, okay, I'm booted out the project. See y'all later. Here's my file. I paid for, depending if this is an OG who got into it early. He paid $8 for ESP32 and dug a hole. It made $500 off of a $13, depending on, what he got. Even if he would have bought his NFT with some entropy tokens and still got this from an Ashler or something, he might have paid $100 for the Ashler, still made $500. I don't know. I know it's a long answer. Stanley says that's high fees. To me, that's extremely high fees. I understand that that Magic Eden has to take its has to charge some kind of fee for handling those NFTs and being the broker in between. But I think when you're taking about a third of the price, that's a bit much. Who Father says he predicted NFTs wouldn't sell. He was hoping OGs would buy too many because it's good for the project. I wish I would have bought more. I wish I would have bought more NFTs. I wish I would listen to Professor them tried telling me buy more NFTs, and I just said, man, I'm not buying all these assholes. I don't need NFTs. And they kept saying buy more NFTs, and I wish I would have bought more. Because if I would have had more, I would have been more willing to sell them in the beginning. I mean, you could technically sell an NFT right now if you're willing to take a cut on them. You can set up right now. You can sell one right now for 484 Solana. That means there's I'm gonna be about to play Call of Duty. That means there's somebody right now that has a buy order in standing at 484 for Solana. So if you're willing to take that $112, so you can sell an NFT right now, ready to go. Trying to see what the most expensive. They had some absolutely ridiculous Solanas. I mean, so look, 5,000 Solana, 3,000 Solana, like, and then it's not even a rare, is it? A 187. So that's what I should do. Is I should have put my NFTs up for like some kind of crazy. I need to advertise that like you get the possibility of owning Grumpy's NFT. And that was worth one Solana at least right there before you even get the NFT. Yeah, I don't know. I might have screwed myself on that one. G the leader on the whale shirt. It matters when you bought the NFT because the first series didn't cost hardly that much at all. That was early in the year because I remember I was still hunting or something like that, dealing with that. I think what happened was when they had another round of NFTs you can buy because Solana had gone up. They end up being close to $200 if I'm not mistaken. But we didn't. But for that we didn't buy them though. We used Entropy. If you were in Entropy early enough, like some of us, we were making $40 and $50 a day in Entropy. That's why it hurts so much now. So yes, you've gotten way more people involved in it, which kind of like a yin to a yang type of thing. I've always said the more people you have involved in projects, the more worldwide it is, the better support you have, the better it is for a project. And you have way more people now. Don't quote me on, but what was the original allocation? 2,000 Astros or something like that eventually went to helium deployed. And, and now see that, but I was arguing with somebody the other day about this. People crying because they bought this thing and then when they realized they were gonna get in trouble for trying to sell, but dude, it's right here. Like it's all right here. And then when you buy it, You have to check the box that you understand this. So I'm sorry, I'm a grumpy a-hole, but I don't feel sorry for you. Hey man, I'll be the first to say it's not for everybody. Hey, I'll tell you something else. And listen, I'm again, I hope I don't turn any of y'all off or anything like that, or y'all don't turn me off. But I'm gonna tell you something else that I think is you know, y'all won't complain about this. And I know some of my fellow YouTubers love it, but as somebody who used to be deep into ASIC mining, um, I can't find them. The solo miners. I saw one in this guy's picture down here. What they starting to want for these? It was one thing when these were just ESP32s with some souped up software, and somebody put a fan on them. Hey, they were cool. You know, um, I'm trying to think. Oh, are these bit axes? Is that what these are? Um, but now I saw the prices on some of these, and I guess they got to keep. I guess they got to keep up with them, you know, to get people to keep buying. But and then what happens is somebody. I saw Tech Hustler. Somebody did a video on about a month or two ago. Somebody with a bit axe happens to stumble across a solo blockchain. They have a better chance of winning the lottery, but they somehow stumble across. So when one out of all these ones they sold, one finally hits it, and then everybody goes crazy for them. But I think that's more sketch than, you know. I don't know. I know some of y'all might have those things. Um, you know, to me, I'd rather take some of my ESP32s off of some of these other goofy projects. I've already taken, you know, the one that was on, what's the one that got hacked when they accidentally sent somebody all those tokens or whatever, and then Crank was supposed to bail them out. I know some of y'all Flex, whatever. Like, I'll unplug that one so I have an extra ESP32. Now you got, there's another one that I unplugged. Then a brick. Then now I'm unplugging. What's the other one that don't want to pay me? The cat in the hat thing. You know, it's just Irwin. Irwin in the hat. Burn, 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 burn. Oh, opened. I'm sorry. Opened. This won't show me it's come in streamer mode. But whoever this is, I think you're right, brother. Still showing zero price. You can't claim, can't do anything. But hey, go bid for NFT. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's almost 9 o'clock. Everyone wants the Bitcoin lottery. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I just said, you have a better chance of meeting, you know, I'm trying to use my age, but Dolly Parton and Pamela Anderson in a 7-Eleven convenience store while winning the lottery and lightning striking the gas pumps outside. You have a better chance of all that happening than hitting a solo mine on Bitcoin these days. There's a reason why They got, was it terahashes and petahashes and stuff, ASIC miners and buildings and stuff like that to be able to hash all that and get pools together and stuff. But, you know, what's an ESP32? But if I just have ESP32s here just sitting here gathering dust, what's it cost for me to put them on some solo mining mission and possibly get lucky? You know, that's the only thing is with the ASIC miners and pushing all that terahash and petahash or whatever you're doing, you're still making I call it crumbles, but it's bigger than crumbles. You're still making some type of Bitcoin reward that's making it worthwhile. When you're doing solo mining, you have to understand you can have 20 of these ESP32s all going to the same pool or solo pool, whatever the way that works, and you ain't getting nothing. Not even like 0.0001 of a Bitcoin. You're not split with nobody. It's either you win the lottery or you don't win at all. And I think some people don't understand that. Well, I know some people don't understand that because I've seen people question it. Hey, I just joined, but I have a question. Have you claimed your tokens and had them sent to a wallet? What project? Loot Rex. I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm supposed to clearly repeat the question for everybody. Loot Rex asked, hey, I just joined. Welcome. Appreciate you coming by. Make sure you hit the like button. I'm desperate. But I have a question. Have you claimed your tokens and had them sent to a wallet? Claimed. So what project are we talking about? I'll be honest with you. Some projects I don't claim. Only if, like Entropy, I claim every Monday, me and my buddy at work, because he's in Entropy also, we remind each other every Monday, hey, it's time to claim Entropy. Then for y'all who know Fluffy from Helium fame, me and Fluffy play Call of Duty every night. I did the AMA with him some time back, kind of a Bitcoin maxi, too much of a Bitcoin maxi for me. But anyway, then when we playing Call of Duty on Monday night, I remind him, hey, bro, you got to go get your, that dude has burned millions and millions. He just feel like, he was going through some family stuff. His mom passed away. She had cancer real bad. He had to go take care of her for a little bit and then had to deal with the mom dying. He was not worried about Entropy. But he goes and gets the Entropy Ashler with an NFT that he got from his ESP32, whatever, or whatever like that. And he's mining all that. And for months, he doesn't claim anything. But anyway, so now he's back claiming at $1 a day or whatever it is. But anyway, you know, we all remind each other to claim. So that's the only project I'm really claiming right now. Everything else is going to hit its own self-custody wallet in the app until it goes somewhere else. Wingbits, I don't claim. I know people think that's blasphemy, but I don't claim because the team assures me that they're keeping their own ledger of what they owe you. So why do I need to go claim? Silencio, I'm trying to figure out how to send them my wallet. Join the club, buddy. I don't have, look, on a Thursday night at 8 almost 9 p.m. I can tell y'all I don't have anything planned on Saturday or Sunday, and then my wife can come out with the list of honeydews, and I'm like, I think I left the water running at the hunting lease, and I'll be back in 3 hours. You know, that kind of thing like that. My point I'm getting at is I'm planning on claiming my Silencio tokens, and I do a video every month to show everybody, so there's transparency. This is how bad Silencio is, and I try to show everybody. I will try to figure out a way legally, because I can't show you all the illegal ways of doing it, the legal way of claiming Silencio tokens. Like I told you, I know Loot Racks just got here. My plan is to take my $17 or $20 or whatever it is I get from Silencio and putting that towards my next week's purchase of a Nubula node. Not this. This is the, but a Nubula node. Same thing with my Nadix and Sword Chain and all that stuff like that. So I will try to figure out a way to offload that, get it into some kind of USDC stable coin so that you can put it into, you know, whether it's Coinbase, Crow, or just trade it for another token. Because if you're not going to buy anything, that's what I would suggest. But that's just me, not financial advice. I just have very little faith in Silencio, but that's me. I could be 100% wrong. But I will try to figure that out for you. All right, hold on, Elias. Hold on. Don't make me delete your message. Hold on. Take a deep breath before you start some kind of mess. How do you figure that amount of wings equates to $200 AUD? There's no idea what the token price is. So I'd love to know where are you thinking, how are you thinking that you're getting 200 AUD, which I'm going to roughly guess that that's the same type of close to the, I don't know what it is compared to the American dollar, but Stanley, we don't know what Nubla is going to give each day because they're giving out a testnet token right now, and they're not on mainnet. So they should be coming to mainnet. So this is another project that you're getting into early, taking that gamble, taking that hope that, like a lot of these other projects, Demo and Hive Mapper and these other ones we just discussed, you're hoping that and you get a airdrop if you get in before TGE. You're hoping that, you know, when you're in early, you have a better chance of making some decent money. Not financial advice, but that's the game we're playing. At least that's the game I'm playing. Oh, I still want to know where Lars got 60,000. I don't know where he got that from. 0.00. I still don't know where you came up with that price from. Yeah, look, guys, if I don't know if that's where you're getting at, but I hope you're not messing with that token. There are a number of tokens showing up on Pump Fund. This is not the real token. Wingbits is not TGE or mainnet. So all these people down there that are buying this token, you see where it says pump swap? Y'all gonna make me do a video and a short on this. This is not the real token. Do not touch it. Trying to see. See anything with the word pump in it? Let me get my fat head out the way. We gotta get serious for a minute. This is for future reference for anybody. Anytime you see the word pump in it, it is a straight meme token. No project is using pump to create their token. So when you look at this contract address, it says pump at the end. They even stole the Wingbits. My freaking video screen is cutting off. But they even stole the logo from Wingbits. Could you imagine if you bought way up here at 1 cent? Yeah, and the total supply of the real Wingbits token is 10 billion. This is only 999. What I was wanting to see is I wanted to see if it was throwing any flags anywhere. Doesn't it show flags somewhere of why you shouldn't? That's crazy, man. Crazy. Tell you what, I'm doing a video on this because there have been people who, why can't I react? Do I need to sign in? You're gonna see this. You're gonna see a token for Nubla because Nubla is not on mainnet yet. But for future reference, when you see a token with pump on it, it is a straight meme token. It doesn't cost hardly anything to create these tokens. And what's going to happen is the guy who owns the guy who owns 52% of this token, which means he has 450 million. When this magic number goes up, look, he has 16,000 in liquidity already. So probably by the time I make my video or shortly thereafter, he will dump his entire 50-something percent and run off with $8,000, if not more, because liquidity it doesn't exactly run one for one like that. So I'm gonna say, Elias, if you happen to buy any of this, or if you know anybody who bought this, tell them to sell now. Don't wait 2 minutes. Don't wait for it to go up. Don't wait for it to do anything. Sell now. But as you can see, this token has been out since April of 2020, April 26, 2025. Project Wings, Project Wings. So at least this Wings just has a picture of a chicken wing. Elias, you need to sell, brother. Sell it. Sell it. You have 60,000 wings. If I go off of what my price prediction is, and I'm guesstimating because I have no idea where the price is going to be, and I hate to even give price predictions, but I think you're about 400 to 500 too low on your evaluation. But it all matters what kind of liquidity goes into it. It all matters. Maybe $700 too low in your evaluation. Maybe on my high side of what I'm guesstimating. And that's me being very conservative. Very conservative. Because whatever price it starts off today, it could always go up. I try to use the example. I know some of y'all are going to use the example. You look at some of these projects and the token gets released and it goes down. But I use the example of grass. Grass was released at like 40 and 50 cents. I know people who dumped all of it at the time. They traded it for entropy because entropy was in this huge dip at the time, and they made money off of it. Despite what it looks like now, at that point it was very low. They made money off of it. But grass was released and it was like 40, 50, 60 cents. Don't quote me on it. And it ends up going to $4 3 or 4 or 5 weeks later. You got Wingbits. Wingbits has paying customers, contract signed. We did videos on it. We spoke about it. The way it's supposed to work is some of that contract money is to go into the token as liquidity to boost up that token, to burn, to do things like that. And as long as you have those mechanisms going, that token price should be higher than what my conservative number is. My question is looking at some of these other DEPIN projects, what my fear is okay, they sign a contract today, they get paid tomorrow, just for example, but then for 12 months, they don't have another check coming in from that contract. So for 12 months, that contract really isn't going to pay anything into that token. Or do some of these contracts in these companies pay monthly? Or does Wingbits or GeoNet or whatever project it is, whether XM or whatever, do they spread that money out over 12 months and buy over 12 months to keep a steady buying? And this is one reason why I will argue with any of y'all who, and I know there's some of y'all out there who want to argue with me that this does not need to be on the CEX. And I will argue that there are way more eyes to buy Wingbits tokens if it's on a, look at Silencio. We just looked at Silencio. The only reason it's moving is because it's on KuCoin. That's where majority of the volume is. And then Dollar General MEXC. The stupid DEXs ain't pushing anything, and I think Wingbits is going to be the same thing. That's my personal opinion, only my opinion, and everybody disagrees with me. I hope it's not a point. I hope it's not a time in my life where I have to say I told you so. But I just think your major investors that want to buy tokens are on CEXs. They have their accounts set up there. They can do everything there, do their tax stuff there, and everything else. Where DEXs don't offer that. But that's just me. And I've been wrong once or twice this year already. So, what else? Going live soon. Helium deploy Huddle 01. Huddle 01. Anybody? Huddle 01. We can't participate because it's right here. KYC is required and identification from the following countries is not permitted. North Korea and the United States of America. Oh, well. Y'all let me know how that turns out. Elias, I think they're joking around with you that you're going to sell your Wingbits tokens. So that's why they're joking around about you being the snake. You're selling your Wingbits tokens already. Just a joke. You know, everybody wants everybody to hold on to tokens forever. The same people who say that are the same ones that are selling as soon as they get tokens. And then they're going to complain that why is the token price going down? Because you're selling, fool. But yeah, so I think they're just joking around with you that you're selling your fake tokens, brother. It's all a joke. Snakes don't. You got to sell, brother. You got to sell that token. It's a fake token. They're joking with you. We're all joking with you. Sell it now. You should have sold it already. Like we talked about this 5 minutes ago. Sell it before somebody else dumps that token, because that whale that owns that token is going to dump it. You know, I say that. And please do not, nobody misconstrue this, that I think you should buy it. But is it possible that whoever created this token did all that selling back here? It comes out on the 26th, came out 26th of April. And it went from, it came out at 0.0000 1614 and goes all the way up to 00. So it ate 2 zeros. And then that whale dumped. But was it so long ago that this is just natural that people are trying to get into this, thinking it's the real thing? I'm telling you to be safe and to make me sleep better tonight, dude, because you're a good dude. You and me talk a lot. You and me talk a lot offline. You and me talk on Discord. Elias, I'm telling you right now, sell this while you still can. Before you get jacked, sell it. This is not the real Wings token. Get out. Stanley, what we're looking at is somebody made a comment about the Wings price, and Wings is the price of Wings, and there is a fake Wings token for the Wings project from pump.fun. So I'm telling people, do not fall for it. Do not touch it. You got one whale who owns over 50% of it. So do not touch this Wings. I won't even show you all the contract or anything like that. The contract is a pump.fun fake scam. They even stole the Wingbits logo right here. It's been out since April. It's fake. So I'm trying. You got me on panic. I wish you luck, dude. I mean, it says it's got $17,000 liquidity into it, so you should be able to sell. I don't know how much you bought, but let me tell y'all, and it's easy for me to say this now because we're not in the future. But if the real Wings comes out, the real Wings, this is not the real Wings. I'm gonna say that first. But the real Wings comes out, 10 billion market cap or 10 billion total supply, anything like that. and this is this price, even though I already have over 1 million wings. I think I have, it's 1 point something million wings. If I saw this price on the wings token, I'd be buying more. Because I have my own price set in my mind of what I think this token's worth. The official Wingbits token. Look, I'm not even gonna show this no more. I don't want nobody coming in thinking they need to come buy that crap. That's y'all's lesson for the night before we sign off in 2 minutes. Any token that has the word pump in the contract, you look at the contract, and any token that has the word pump in it. Let me zoom in on it. See where it says pump? Any token that has the word pump in it is a pump token. Pump.fun, which is basically a meme, not always a scam, just a meme token meant to be funny, I guess. I don't know how else you want to describe it. So just take that from now on. If you see any other tokens or anything like that for projects that are on TGE, this happens a lot. Wingbits don't have anything to do with it. They've actually addressed it several times in their Discord. So everybody should know. It says pump. Get ready to get pumped. I wouldn't even joke about that. Because somebody's going to go buy it. If people think it's going to pump, somebody's going to go buy it. And I don't want to see nobody lose money. You know, the only thing I'll say is that it's been out for so long. The initial person who bought it that owns 52% of this token. Let's see, 52%. This says it got 17,000 liquidity. This one said circulating supply is 999. That means he has 450 million, right? So the whale has a little over. He has 53. So he probably has 50. So he's got about $8,000 in tokens. He's got about $8,000 in tokens that he's going to dump at some point. And if he is monitoring this at all, he's going to wait for it to keep going up a little bit more. And then he's going to dump on all y'all. And then it's going to go back to this 0.00000 with a bunch of more zeros prices. And people can get screwed. It says they got oh, that hurts. This says they got 136 victims. victims. Another way you know it's a scam, and I know I'm getting a little deeper for y'all, but when you see 96% of the tokens are top 10 holders or whatever, but 136 people hold on this poor token, and I guarantee they don't know. Scam coin. You're right. It is. And I feel sorry because you got people who are like, liars who think it's a good price and want to invest in a project. They know it's a good project. They know it's long term. If this was the real, I told you, if this was the real token and I saw it at that price, I would jump in it. Even though I already got a whole crap load of tokens myself. My allergies are killing me again. But all right, boys and girls, it's 9:15. I appreciate everybody. It was a good live again. I like chit-chatting with y'all. And I'm gonna go drop a quick video on this because I'd feel horrible if somebody bought this. And I know they did because you look at 136 people. So I gotta use the bathroom. I gotta get me something to eat because I haven't eaten all night. But I appreciate everybody following me. I'm at 34,500 subscribers. So if y'all know 500 friends, help a brother out. I'd love to reach 35,000. But either way, I'm happy for all 34,500 of y'all, even though I only got 11 people watching. I must have a lot like overseas, because it seems like I don't get that many people watching lives. But again, I get 200 and 300 people that view the lives after, the next day or overnight while I'm sleeping. So hit the like button on your way out. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the support. Got a couple of videos lined up for this weekend, setting up my Nubla Marco. Doing some more Silencio bashing. I know that's always a fun time for everybody. And, figuring out what kind of crumbs they gave me this month for tokens. And I'm going to do this video real quick. I say real quick, it's still going to take an hour, because by the time you edit it and do everything else and upload it to YouTube and set all the tags up and stuff, it's still not a quick video, but I'm still going to do it because I want to, this is going to bother me. This wings thing, it's on my other screen. So appreciate it. Hit the like button on the way out. We'll see you Monday on my video for updating all my projects. And then Tuesday night, if I ain't got nothing planned, we'll be back on live Tuesday. So Grumpy don't know crypto, bro. Because if Grumpy knew crypto, I've been in it for 10 years, man. I wouldn't be sitting here doing videos. I'd be on my private island somewhere. But I figure if we can all do it together and I can help other people be successful, people can learn from my mistakes. Hey, man, that's what I'm here to help everybody out for. So nobody could ever call me greedy, a YouTuber or influencer or anything like that. That would be really offensive. So I appreciate it, man. So appreciate it. We'll see y'all later. And thank y'all for everything.